What's to the pack? It is Pack here.
AKA your mama's best friend, your daddy's worst nightmare.
We have screenshots of NBA 2K23 and their graphics, and I'm going to compare them to the last game. Look, I'm excited about this stuff. You know, the thing is, the graphics are getting harder and harder to compare because like graphics already look fantastic, but there's definitely some improvements here that I want to cover that look really good. Okay, if you like this kind of content when it comes to NBA 2K23 news, graphics, updates, changes, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. It helps the video grow. Let's get the video started. This is all mostly Michael Jordan and a couple WNBA players. Let's start with the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. So let's start off with like the most, I think, famous Michael Jordan, the 90s Michael Jordan. You see on the left an NBA 2K22, and then you see on the right NBA 2K23. Shout out to JJ Creates SMN. Usually I make these, but like this guy already made it, so might as well just shout him out and do it there. Okay, so on the left, at first I thought Michael Jordan already looked good in the first place when I would play 2K games, but damn, when you compare these two, it's actually a significantly big difference. It looks so much better from skin tone to face scan. I mean, damn, really impressed by how crazy this is. I think even my wife pointed this out when she saw this. She was like, look at the head shape. Like at the top of the head is so much more detailed and accurate how Michael Jordan had it in real life. Super impressive. I think the ears have a lot of detail. Now I heard some people were complaining about the neck being too fat. So what I did, because you know, your boy's a little Sherlock Holmes here, I compared it with Michael Jordan himself. And to be honest with you, with a comparison of this, I actually think it looks really, really accurate. I think the neck is perfect. I think my personal problem, if anything, is the head shape is too wide. I think they should have made it a little more skinnier, but I honestly think it's such a small thing that it doesn't even really matter. I think the face scan is so good for the most part, and the neck size is good that I actually think this is perfectly fine. The only, I think, personal complaint I have is that the mustache is way too light. I wish it was a little darker and a little more filled out because it's kind of hard to see it. But for the most part, this is a really damn good face scan from 2K. Getting me excited because they've always covered the current generation. Like the current NBA players, they get all their face scans right now. But the previous, like the legends, the all-time players, I felt that all of them needed a face scan overhaul because they were all being used in the previous generation when we're in a new generation, and I think this is giving me really good signs that they actually have fixed legends now. That looks great. But don't worry, they didn't just cover 90s Michael Jordan, they covered 80s Michael Jordan with hair. Yes, because this Michael Jordan was putting up dummy numbers and it was still a significant Michael Jordan. And look at the difference. On the left to the right is complete night and day. I'm super impressed. On the left, again, it was a face scan that I thought at the time was great, but you look at the right and it's not even comparable. They made him skinnier, they made his face a little thinner, it looks younger, the hair is actually pretty good and detailed. Even the hairline has specific detail. I'm very impressed with this. Super, super good detailed face scan. I think the biggest change is the eyes, like that brow area, the head shape, and the nose are all significantly different. I think it's super impressive by 2K, an absolute W. And to make sure they got it right, here is a comparison of real life rookie, not rookie, but early years Michael Jordan versus the 2K23 version. And again, I actually think this is close to perfect. I still think that maybe the head should be a little skinnier, but for the most part, the nose, the eyes, like the hair, everything about this is actually ridiculously impressive, and I give 2K props for this. I didn't think they could do legends that good, but here we are. This is getting me excited for the new 2K boys, because if Michael Jordan is looking good and accurate, I can't wait to see all the other legends and compare them, because this is pretty damn impressive. I gotta be honest with you guys. Now for the WNBA players, and these are actually pretty crazy. So the first one is Sue Bird. Okay, when I first saw these, I was like, man, these aren't necessarily impressive. I mean, this looks basically like a little cleaned up version of Sue Bird. But when I really looked at this for a little bit, I saw what I had noticed was the impressive part. First is the skin tone. Yes, Sue Bird is a white woman, right? So they gave her white skin in 2K22, but there's a little bit of redness to her face, a little more redness to her like arms and neck that makes it seem so much more like real life. That's really good small detail. Also the eyes. So this one's kind of a weird one, and I think a debate in life. If you look at someone like me right now, my eyes have dark in them, right? Like there's darkness inside my eyes. In 2K22, they did the same thing, like the shadows around your eyes are darker. But in 2K23, for some reason, it seems that they've removed this. And for whatever reason, even though I think 2K22 is more realistic, it just looks better in 2K23. I can see a player's face clearly, and it doesn't look odd. There's still shadows in their face, but it's not completely black to where you can't really see the detail there. I think it's great. I think, even though I already thought Super was pretty good, on the right it's even better. But the more important thing about this, if you really look closely, is the jersey. Look at the collar. This is the really important part. Before in 2K22, the collar had no, I guess, physics on it. This time you can see it bending forward, and that means it's probably gonna move when you're playing like a real jersey. That's how that works. Very clean by 2K. A W from them. And here's another WNBA player, Taurasi. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. There's another example of someone that, yes, maybe on the left it's realistic because of the eyes, but on the right it just looks better. Same thing with the skin tone. You see the redness. It's crazy. It's crazy how detailed these players look, how impressive they made it. I'm really, really impressed by 2K. I think this one's the best example of the eye thing I'm talking about, where like the darkness in the eye, yes, like it's realistic, it is true, but tell me the right doesn't look more realistic than the left. It just does. It looks cleaner, more like photorealistic. I'm really impressed by this one. I also think that the exaggeration of the skin, like I guess like the moles, right? Like yes, she has moles, but they look a lot more like they belong on her body on the right than on the left. I feel like the hair belongs on the head more on the right than on the left. It's little things and a little touch up of the face scan that just overall is fantastic. But I will say one thing about 2K is even though these face scans are getting better and better every year, and I'm really impressed, one thing, and I think this is a great example here, is the body types need to be so much better. I mean, it's the exact same body type as last year, as this year, and like no one's arm looks like that. It looks like a toy. Like, it looks fake, right? So that's, to this day, 2K doesn't know how to fix body types, but from head up, perfect. That's the greatest looking, most realistic face scan I've ever seen from 2K right here. But the body just makes it look like a video game all over again. I think the next 2K, they really need to focus on that, personal opinion. But okay, that's it. Wow, really, really, really impressive stuff by 2K. I think this is one of their better showcases of graphics ever, and I'm excited. But again, I know a lot of you don't care about graphics, and y'all care about gameplay, so let me know what you want 2K to fix in the game for NBA 2K23 in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of content when it comes to 2K news, please go ahead and pack and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.